everyone. We're back with a special guest for K-pop Hot Take.
I met RM.
Wow.
I met RM when I went to Korea. And he was really lovely. Like, really sweet. And he posted it on his social media. And yeah, I had a good time in Korea.
I was going to ask you that actually, because I saw your performance where you performed your songs from your album.
Yes.
By the way, MNEK's album, Language, I listened to that. Remember you were on my story. I used to, because I loved Free.
Oh yeah.
And I loved Free. And also about Crazy World. And even like, do you know what, to be fair, a lot of the songs on the album just felt very representative of being black and queer in London. I could still resonate with a lot of them. And it's just so nice to have a black queer artist who's around my age singing about things I can resonate with. But anyway, before we get into that, how was that performing it? Especially you performed the songs in Korea.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Like raining, but it was raining.
The setting was delicious though.
The setting was great. It was really fun. It was yeah. I mean, it's cool to be able to perform in different places, and it was such a long time ago now. It was like 3 years ago.
It was 2018, right?
Yeah. You know what? I like the variety, and I like being able to, you know, say I've done something else different here, or seen a different approach, or different like way of doing things.
Yeah.
So, but it was a long time ago, and I mean, I wish I was in the same place that I was there, but it's not. I'm not there right now.
We've been through the pandemic and we've handled it well, which segues well into my next question. How has the pandemic been for you? Have you gone through it? How does it feel to be on, I won't even say the other side, we're on their side of it at the moment, but how's it been for you?
I'm in your house.
But emotionally, mentally, you've been...
Yeah, I mean... Look, the pandemic hasn't been like the most... It's not fun, you know what I mean? It's not fun like being in your house like this. We got through it. I had a few moments here and there. Some were more trying than others.
True.
And, you know, thankfully for me, making music and writing and being creative in that sense was like really helpful for me. It was like really good for me to just like still exercise that muscle and feel like purposeful.
I love that. Yeah, so you're making your input.
Yeah.
And before I get to my last question,
okay,
one of my friends, Bianca, would love to know.
Yeah, hi Bianca.
Bianca Brown. What was happening through your head when you guys wrote Handle It? Because that song, and even Ola loved it too. That song, it's the fact that the verses, when I first, I was like, the verses are cute. And then the chorus came in, I was like, doom, 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 doom.
Wow.
And the bass line.
Do you want to know something? So there's a whole thing with this. Okay, so basically, this was a song written by Liz Locker, Adrian X, Ryan Ashton.
Yeah, because I saw the tweet. Yeah.
So Ryan's my good Judy. So we love Ryan. And
hi Ryan.
But he was working in my old studio with Liz and Adrian. And I joined the session, so they started the song.
Oh, okay.
And then I came in and I was like, you know, you can handle it. You want to be a man about it. So that was like me, the original English lyric.
Oh yeah, of course.
So like, we did that. And I didn't even think too much about it. And then they wanted it. And you know, it was, look, it's cool, like being able to access different vibes. But then I don't know, like, do you understand some of the lyrics that they're singing?
No, not at all. Like, for me, when I hear that song, now that you said it, that's the first time I've realized that English-speaking writers are not thinking about the Korean aspect, and then it gets translated. That's the first time I've noticed that. Obviously, you're not writing it with Korean words. It just gets translated.
It gets translated.
And it hits, but I don't even know about the...
And so much of it, like, it's funny enough, like, when they're thinking about translating these songs, you know, and doing it that way, they're listening to, like, the cadence.
That's it. That's it. You mentioned that before when we were talking.
Like,
cadence.
They just listen to it, but it's more like, they're not even worried about what exactly is being said.
Amen.
They're like, okay, this feels good. We can replace it this way. And it's really interesting. It kind of like opens up like, and leaves it like barrierless. Like how far it can go.
So true. When I heard that song, the lyrics with a lot of Korean songs anyway. The lyrics are the last thing.
One day I'll send you the demo.
Oh my god! Yes. Oh my god!
But these girls can't get it.
You can't get it. Sorry. I need to hear the demo. To hear it in its raw form, that would be absolutely amazing. So the last question I wanted to ask you was, how has been, because you're Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
Has your background influenced how you make your music, how you produce in any kind of way?
I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's background influences their music.
Yeah, true.
Or influences their art, you know, or they're just the root of yourself, like what you
subconsciously or consciously. Yeah.
I mean, I think Nigerians are actually quite creative people anyway.
Amen. Yeah.
And like really like musical, and you know, I grew up listening to loads of Whitney Houston and Bob Marley and like, all like Western artists, but then my parents would love to play like Igbo gospel music.
Oh, wow.
You know, like it's just like traditional, like all things like that just are, you know, the purest form of like melody.
Yes.
So that was cool. And I think it has influenced it in more subconscious ways, as opposed to it being like, okay, and now I'm saying I'm Nigerian and I'm making music. So I don't know if it has to be that.
Yeah, but, it's true.
You know, I both can coexist.
And then, okay, the real last question is, and what do you have? What do you have?
This is the third last question, and that's fine.
What do you have coming next? So people know, because like you know, saying, if you haven't listened to Language, the album, honestly, the production. When I was listening to the album, was like your mind just works in ways that I wish I could produce what you produce. Like the way you do it, I feel like you have the thoughts and you can actually put it into sound, and I can't do that. And I think, the album was great. So
that album was a freak of nature. I really love it still, but you know, right now I'm having a good time just like writing stuff and like producing and just being a bit more behind the scenes. And you know, I really want to get into developing like singers and performers and
all that kind of vibe,
all that shit, you know. I want to do that, and I want to be in the right headspace if I'm going to do another like MNEK record, because I don't know, I mean, it's complicated. Putting out music is such a vulnerable thing when you're like,
because it's your baby, and then people get to go, I like this song, I don't like this song. It's very like,
and when it's your stories, you know what I mean, when it's like stuff that is so like important to you, you start feeling and being like very prideful of it.
Yes.
And I just want to be able to be in a space where my ego is gone, and I can just release it and just have a good time doing it, as opposed to it being like, oh, you know, this has to be number one.
Oh, that too, the numbers and all that kind of pressure. Yeah.
Because I've seen that. I've seen success from a commercial point of view, and there's parts of it I really love, and there's parts of it that I could easily live without, and that's fine, you know. But I mean, it's about striking the balance.
I love that. But honestly, thank you so much for this. This has been, I feel like, to be fair, we've barely scratched the surface. I would love to do more of these, because I know you're booked and busy. So many things that people would love to know, because we don't get to have that in discussions, because as Black K-pop fans, that's another thing I didn't get touched on, but you know, Black people in K-pop, that's a whole other thing. We have a lot of Black writers, and a lot of Black writers love the fact that the Black K-pop fans are endorsing their work, and also we're the first ones to call out any issues with appropriation or whatever. We're the ones with the loudest voices, so that's a whole other thing too. Oh, quick thoughts?
Is, you know what, the appropriation stuff and like all the things that Black people have always been like the epicenter of what is like cool,
and trendy,
and the sad thing is because like it's deep rooted in like the forbidden thing. Like if it's Black, then it's like bad and cool and sneaky.
Yes.
Fuck that, like we just existing.
I mean, we're just here,
and suddenly we're the bad guys. Like I don't get that.
We're just out here.
I don't know why it has to be that, but like, you know, whatever. I think it's sadly it's the structure of the world, and everyone needs to grow up. Korea has such great culture.
It does.
You know what I mean? I think like we can leave Black people alone.
And to be fair, also you can appreciate Black culture, but they just don't treat us funny when we come to your country. You can't have it both ways. So
He said what he said.
Appreciate the culture. We can exchange the music, but if I'm gonna call for a cab in Seoul, don't run away from me.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna say. Let's stop it right now. He did it. So that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Oh, thank you, sis. Oh my god, this was so great. Honestly, this was even better than I ever imagined.
Appreciate you.
It's been great. Everyone, and that's it.
That's it. I'm a go.
Period.
I'm a go.
Bye.
Bye.